Hey there, welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph and I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other forms of rock music. So today it'll be heavy metal for certain, as we do our series episode number 22, October the 22nd, an album that I love quite a bit. Have it in cassette still. Never had it in album form. But I've always had it in cassette form. I don't listen to my cassettes much, and I'm not even sure where it is. I would have brought it out as a prop, but I don't even know where my cassettes are. So anyways, we're talking about Judas Priest, British Steele. Great album. And this day begins the day of the albums of the high twos, ones, and masterpieces. The other albums, most of them were threes and twos, various degrees of twos. But these next 10 albums are quite good. In fact, this album could have went on day 23, the next day, not tomorrow, but the next day. But I decided at the last minute that I just liked the other album just a little bit more because I hadn't listened to it for a long time. So it was kind of refreshing to me. Anyways, good album. It doesn't have like home run hitting songs on it, in my opinion, but it has a lot of strong tracks, like good to strong tracks. There's, most of my favorite Judas Priest stuff is on Screaming for Vengeance, but this album has a lot of pretty solid stuff on it. There's a lot of really good guitar riffing on this album. I think the drums are pretty heavy for the most part on almost every track. I think Rob Halford's voice is the Rob Halford of Judas Priest that everybody remembers and knows. The only problem, that if there's any negatives about this album, it's that it's probably overplayed. Played too much, and a couple of these tracks are like browbeaten on radio stations. So they say, oh, we're going to play you some heavy metal, and then they only play... and they say, we're going to give you some Judas Priest, and it's always the same songs. It's never anything other than these songs, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it is. I try not to listen to radio anymore, as you probably heard, because it just burns those songs out. There's only one on this album like that. It's not burnt out for me, but it's close to the mark. So anyways, we'll start with Rapid Fire, which is the first time I'm going to put my glasses on just so I can read my notes. Rapid Fire, fast pace, pretty clear sound, nice production work on this album as a whole. Rob Halford, his vocals are pretty strong on this song. Not exceptional, but pretty strong. And I like the guitar. I like the heavy guitars on this. But there's heavy guitars on every track on here. There's no really weak songs, I don't think. Well, maybe there's one. I'll get to that when I get to it. So the next song up is Metal Gods. Heavy riff, lots of riffing on this song. The drums are again heavy. The solo is awesome. I like the solo on this song quite a bit. Very strong. One of their legendary songs, like it's one of those songs you'll probably find on some radio stations quite a bit. But I don't listen to radio, so I don't know for a fact that that's the case. I don't know what group of Judas Priest songs they're playing that they continuously play in the loop. I guess pretty much every station is the same. They're going to have the one song, and then maybe a couple more of these might make it. But Metal Gods is one of those songs that kind of defined what Judas Priest is in some ways, I think. So the next track out is Breaking the Law, another tune that I like a lot. Another heavy riff, another Halford strong vocal, and this is of course a classic Judas Priest song, well known. Everybody knows this song pretty much, I think. Great tune, one of my favorites on the album. So the next song is probably my favorite on the album, but it's between this and probably Breaking the Law, I think. This one today is going to get a little more because I haven't listened to it for a while. Heavy guitar, and drums at the intro. And we're talking about Grinder here. Another classic, great riff, fantastic riff actually, and I love the guitar solo quite a bit as well. Just one of my favorite on this album, maybe my favorite on this album. Pretty close. There's a bunch of them that are all fairly close. All good to great songs. The next song, United, it's the one track on the album that I just find it a bit like a filler. Not really memorable. I don't remember much about it when I'm listening, unless I'm actually listening to it. It's a bit rapid in play, but nothing spectacular. Then the next song is, of course, You Don't Have to Be Old to Be Wise. This is another of the weaker tracks on the album, but this one's better than that one, I think, in my opinion. Pretty solid. Not a terrible song. There's no really terrible songs in it. A couple of weak sisters, but that's about it. Okay, the next song, of course, is the legendary Living After Midnight, iconic song, probably the most famous Judas Priest song, I think. Even more so than You Got Another Thing Coming. But I think it's an overrated song and definitely overplayed song. I don't mind it though. Sometimes I just like I don't mind hearing it, but I don't think I would be in that position if I was listening to radio, because I'd probably get sick of it. Even there's a guy at work and he's always playing the radio, and in the background I hear this song all the time. So he's good enough not to play it when I'm in the room because he knows I can't stand the radio. Anyways, probably the biggest song on this album for sure. I would say it's probably my fourth or fifth favorite, given any day. Next song is The Rage. I really like the heavy guitars on this. Just really strong. Just a very heavy track. It's funny how I don't really like heavy music as much as I used to, but the heavy stuff I want it to be very heavy. And this is one of the heavier tracks, so just a great tune. I liked it a lot. And then the last song, which is Steele, another good track, underrated track, I think. Love that heavy drum guitar bit. Great guitar riff and solo together. One guy's riffing and the other guy's soloing. I'm not as familiar with guitar as I am with drums, so I'm not sure who is who. I know it's been explained to me who plays what and who doesn't, and you can tell the difference, but I am not at that stage where I can tell who's playing what. There's some guitarists I know right away who they are, but these two guys are both really good, and to me, I can't really tell the difference. I suppose if I listened to it a lot more, I would pick it out. Anyways, that and on the particular CD that my friend has that I see, and there's a couple of other live tracks on there too, but I'm not going to discuss them because they're not on the album that I have. So anyways, there you have it. That's a British Steele by Judas Priest, coming out on day 22, October the 22nd, as one of my favorite albums of 1980. Now we'll be back probably tomorrow to do the one for Sunday for my day 23. But anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. Really makes for a much appreciation from me. Anyways, I hope to see you soon, and you have a good night, and you'll see this in the morning when it comes out. Take care.